Hello, Bridget. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. How was your drive down here?
That was okay.
Okay.
Traffic, but...
Okay, yeah, usually we get traffic out there. Yeah. Well, it's nice to see you coming today. Earlier today I was going through your file and I understood that you're going through some stuff with your marriage. So, you know, you're here to talk to me about it. But before we start to talk about anything, I would like to talk to you about my agency policy, which states that whatever we talk about in this room stays here unless it has something to do with you harming yourself or somebody else. Do you understand that?
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, so I would like for you to tell me more about why you're here today.
Well, basically, I'm going through a divorce. Well, we're separated right now, and we're thinking about going through a divorce. But I'm a little conflicted because we've been together for a long time. I got pregnant when I was 16, and we got married because we thought that that was like the right thing to do. And now, I'm in my 40s, and I want to go back to school, and I want to do all of those things. And we have another child who's only 9 years old, and my husband thinks that I should stay home and clean and cook and take care of the kids and that kind of thing. And I want to go to school, and I want to get my education and get a job, and so we're just kind of fighting about that right now.
Okay. Well, it's always normal in a relationship. Couples fight about, one thing or another. Being in the field that I'm in and, doing counseling with couples and stuff like that, you see the pattern, it might not be about you going back to school or something, but, couples always fight over something. But it's courageous. It's a great thing that you want to go back to school, although you're in your 40s, and you want to go back to school and get a degree and start working and stuff like that. But I think the thing that we are focusing on here today is like the kids, because I heard that you have kids.
Yeah.
And divorce is a very hard thing to go through, and it don't only affect you or your husband, but it affects the kids the more, because they get pulled in different directions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want to find out more. How long have you and your husband been together?
Well, like I said, I got pregnant when I was 16, so we've been married since I was 16 years old, and I'm now 42. So it's been a long time. Our oldest son that I had when we were that age, he's like in his late 20s, and like I said, I have another child who's 9, so we've been married a long time, but I just feel like I got married to him because I was pregnant, not because we wanted to get married.
Okay. So were you in love with him?
I mean, yeah, but it was like teenage love.
Right. Right. But are you in love with him presently right now?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think I'm so tired of being forced to do all the, because he's really into like the traditional roles, so to speak. So he's always kind of pressured me to stay home and cook and clean, all of those things. But now I just feel like, why can't I want something for me?
Right.
So I think I maybe resent him for that, because I've kind of spent so much time in my life cooking, cleaning, and when I could have been doing so much better.
Right. So at the beginning of your marriage, when you and your husband got married, was it a plan? Was it an agreement that you were going to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom? Was it something that the two of you came out to? Was it a decision that you guys made together, or was it something that he just made on behalf of you?
Well, I don't know. I guess it was together, but he kind of pressured me, and I wanted to make him happy, so I did. Okay. So, yeah.
So what makes you, feel the urge now to go back to school,
Well, my oldest son is, we're really close. He's the one that I had when I was 16. And he, he's out of college now. He's doing good. He's a doctor, if you can believe that. And I see how far along he's doing, how well he's doing, and how I really haven't accomplished even my bachelor's degree, and I'm in my 40s, so it's pretty embarrassing, actually, and I just feel like it's time for me if my son can be a doctor, I could at least get a bachelor's degree or become a teacher.
Right. Right. And how many kids do you have with your husband?
3.
3.
My oldest son, Scott, he's in his late 20s. He's the doctor. I have a 9-year-old who's also another boy. His name's Daniel. And then I have a 16-year-old, and her name's Brittany. And she's like driving me crazy. But that's a completely different story.
Okay. So, have you discussed with your children what you're planning on to do?
A little bit. I mean, we're living separately right now. I live at the house, and he's staying at an apartment close by. I'm not even really sure. I just drop the kids off, and they go into the apartment complex and stay with him. But yeah, they know what's going on, and they want us to stay together, obviously, because they don't want to keep dealing with this weekends here and there kind of thing.
Right. And I know that you came in and you're very strong about, going back to school. That's something that you really want to do, and you're passionate about it. And it's, like I said before, it's a great strength, and it's a great thing for you to realize that if my son can become a doctor, I can become a doctor. And just to tell you that your son coming up to become a doctor, that shows how good of a mother you've been to him, or how good of a parents that he have. Although you and your husband have, problems that are going on right now, but it shows that you guys have been great parents to raise a boy to grow up to become a medical doctor, and your children are basically successful in school. So that shows that, you have a good parenting skills, and whatever values that you place within your kids are, they grow up to be great young men and women. But then at the same time, you don't want to jeopardize that because of a divorce.
Yeah.
Because divorce always have negative impact on kids, on the children, and it's not all divorce that go down, peacefully. Divorce are sometimes very hard to deal with. People are asking for so many things, custody of the children, and sometimes it hurts the children the most because they get pulled in so many different directions. So I just want you to think about that, before you make your final decision. And also, there are a lot of resources that are available that you can explore and see if this is exactly what you still want, the divorce. Because I think, is it you that want a divorce?
Yeah.
Right? So there's things that you can explore and see if your decision was still the same. For example, we have couple counseling here, that you can make an appointment for you and your husband to come in and meet with me and then talk about, the things that are going on and see if there's a common ground there. There's something that can be done, that you can still go to school and still be a wife to your husband and stuff like that. And we also have family counseling. Since your kids are, 2 of them are very grown, like, 29 and 16, and then you have a 9-year-old. So I think it would be a good idea for everybody to sit down, and talk, and then that way you can see from the point of view of your kids what they're actually feeling about a divorce and what's going on between you and the father.
Okay.
Yeah. So besides you trying to go back to school, is there any other underlying issues that you are fighting with?
No.
Your marriage?
I mean, we're really a pretty good couple. I think that I just am tired of doing all of the womanly roles. I think that maybe if he would want to cook and clean, all of those things, I would maybe at least consider getting back with him. But unless he changes his views, I can't be with him anymore.
It seems like, you want to go back to school, but basically you also want him to take on some responsibilities around the house so you can have like a breathing space to do other stuff as well. And it's normal for you to feel that way because you've been doing this since you were 16 basically. Yeah. And it takes a strong woman to keep her house together, feed her kids, take care of her husband, and make sure everything is in line and your kids growing up to be great, wonderful kids and young men and women. It takes a strong person to do that. I really admire you for that ability, because statistics in the United States shows that, kids don't always come out great as your kids came out to be. Some kids drop out of high school, some don't even get a GED. You know, so I think you and your husband parenting together really make your kids to be the people that you are today, and that's a good thing.
Thanks. He's a pretty good kid.
Right, right. So tell me more about your husband. How is your marriage like before you decided to go back to school?
I mean, good, besides the whole general thing that I talked about. I mean, I don't know, he's very a man's man. He, like, believes that, I mean, he makes a lot of money, he does, but, I mean, that's what he's all about. He's all about football and hunting and, you know, just that kind of thing. So he really enjoys sports.
Does he, like, take time out to spend time with you?
No.
No.
I mean, like, for example, like a normal day when he comes home from work, like, he'll take off his shoes, and then I have to, like, take care of him and clean up after all that, and have dinner waiting on the table, and make sure the house is good and clean, and then take a shower, and basically watch television and go to bed.
Okay. But what I understand is he don't spend time with you. No. Has he ever taken you out for dinner, on your anniversary, on your birthdays? Is it something that you two do together as couple, just the two of you?
Well, he is the CEO of a company, so he makes a lot of money. So basically, like, he'll buy me stuff, but he doesn't take me out. So I feel like he kind of buys me with his love.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he'll buy me, like, a $5,000 diamond necklace, which is great.
Right.
But what I really want is just some time. I could, you know, I could eat some KFC with my bare feet. I don't care. I just want time. I don't care about the presents.
Right. So it seems like the presents and all those things does not matter to you. What you really want is your husband to be there physically, just two of you having some fun together.
Yeah.
And that does not happen.
No.
And has that been that way since you guys got married, or it's changed over the years?
Well, it's changed over the years. When we were younger, we used to, like, hang out all the time. And I think now that we're, like, in our 40s, he's like, well, really since he got his new job as CEO, like, he's really built his way up with this company. I think that we're just spending less and less time together the further he gets along with his career. And I think I'm jealous that he has such a great job and I don't even work and I stay home all day.
Right, right. And it's not a bad jealous. It's not like you're jealous because you don't want to see him succeed. You're just jealous because you don't want, you know, you want to be recognized with something too.
Yeah.
Because your husband is part of this big company. You feel the urge to, you know, have something that you are part of. You know, other than just being a wife and a mother. And that is very common. And the age range that you and your husband are in right now, you say you're in your 40s. Around that time period, you know, couples that have been together for that long tend to, like, you know, their love life tend to, you know, exactly. People tend to go their separate ways and tend to sit in their ways and stuff like that. And the romance, you know, it's not always on point like 20 years ago or something like that. So, and in order to bring these things back, you just have to, like, find the little things that make your partner, you know, happy and reminded of that time that you had before. And it seems like you're liking that a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you guys are not spending time together, there's no way that you guys are going to continue your romance. There's no way that that spark is going to continue.
Yeah. Like, if he decided to make an effort, decided to, like, not work as much, to take me on dates, help around the house, and support me with me and my education, I would want to get back together.
Right. Right. So, it seems to me that it's not just because you want to go back to school, but you want your husband more involved in the house with activities around the house, and you also want him involved in your life, you know, with your kids and everything, so that he can take you out on a couple of days, you know, take you out for dinner. You could go walking down in the park, you know, stuff like that. Take some personal days off, just to spend time with you and the family. Is he the CEO of his company?
Yeah.
So basically he can make his own schedule.
Kind of, yeah. The company is like, it's kind of confusing. It's like they make furniture and stuff, and like they have stores all over the world. It was like a franchise.
Right.
So I mean, I don't really know much about it. Maybe that's bad, but I'm like kind of uninterested in that because furniture is boring. But I mean, that's what he does.
Or it could even be maybe because he's not talking to you more about it.
That's true.
Does he explain to you about the business and what goes on at work when he comes home?
No. I mean, you would never say this, but I think he thinks I'm too stupid to really get it. Because I only have my high school education, and I wouldn't understand all of these confusing CEO kind of talk.
But I'm pretty sure when he was marrying you, he knew the woman that he was marrying. And a stupid woman would never raise a kid like you did. You know, would not raise beautiful kids like you did. So I don't think that is a thought that he's thinking. It could be a possibility, but I know that he sees your value more than that. If not, he wouldn't have married you and stayed with you all this time.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't think about it like that.
All right. So I think you're just a wonderful person, a great mother, and a great wife. And I believe that if you guys can sit together, you and your husband, and talk about some of the things that you just expressed to me, and let him know, because what I'm getting from you right now, I don't think he knows all these things that you want.
Yeah. Well, I think I just kind of shut him out. Like, I don't even tell him. I guess that's bad on my part.
Right. So it's not like bad on your part. Maybe sometimes you just feel that he's not ready to listen, or he's too busy, like you said, because when he comes home, he's really tired. So it might just be because of miscommunication, or because you guys don't communicate as much. So that's why, a couple counseling might be a great idea, for you to just put things on the table and tell him how you're feeling about everything that's going on, how the relationship had changed over the years, and you want to see changes, because there's a possibility that you guys can get back together if he's willing to let you go back to school, and for you to be able to, for him to be able to get more involved in the relationship with you and with the kids too, if I'm getting that right.
Yep.
Right. So, where's your older son now?
Well, he actually lives like right down the street from us. That's why we're so close. Because when because I don't work, I'll just come and hang out with him if he gets a lunch break or whatever. So he lives like 4 houses away from me.
Okay. So how is he dealing with the whole separation thing that's going on between you and his father?
Well, he's upset, but because he's older, he kind of understands more. And he's really, really supportive of me getting my education. So he's kind of mixed feelings about it.
Right. And I believe that things can, come together. It's all about miscommunication from what I'm getting right now. Because you feel a certain way and he don't know how you feel. Yeah. Your husband don't know how you feel because you guys don't communicate.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have a couple of times together where you just go somewhere and it's just the two of you and you talk and things like that. And I think some of the factors that make those things happen is because of his work and how frequently he works and how, how far away he is from the home and stuff like that. So it makes it harder for you to really talk to him. And that happens in a lot of relationships. So I don't want you thinking that it's only your relationship or something is wrong with you, because it's a normal thing that happens with couples that have been together for that long and that are in the age range, that you guys are in. So those kind of things happen. So with everything that, that I talked about, like the couple counseling or family counseling and stuff like that, are you open to any of them? Is it something that you want to, explore and see how it turns out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you think your husband's going to be open to this?
Yeah, besides finding time, which he has a problem with. But yeah.
He's going to be open to it. I wanted to know a little bit more about your husband's relationship with the kids.
I mean, they're close, but he always does all the fun stuff because he's not home as much. So he's the one that takes my son out to play football and takes him for ice cream and those kind of things. And then I'm the one that has to kind of like set the boundaries. So they're close, but they don't hang out as much because he's always busy.
Because of his work.
But he's the fun one.
Right. And do they all have a good relationship with him, your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good father, just that he don't have time on his hands, or he don't make up time.
And again, he buys them things too, like an Xbox or just all this ridiculous stuff. He paid for my son to go through school all those years. Medical school is expensive.
Yeah.
So all of those things. So
sounds like he's a great father.
He is.
You know, because it's not every father that send their kids to medical school or that work as hard as he does so his kids can have good things and so that you can have good things. It's just, what I see here is that he's working a lot and it's taking away from you and the family and it's affecting you the most. But on the other hand, he's really working all the hours that he's working because he wants his kids to have the best and because he wants you to have the best of whatever you want and for his kids to go to the best schools like medical schools. So it's just the matter of finding the time, making time.
Yeah.
If there's anything that I see in this whole thing that's going on, is he making time for you and the kids and also coming to the place where he can finally see where you're coming from and allow you to explore those things that you want to explore. For example, when you go back to school. Yeah, because I have done this for a long time and I haven't seen like your kids. I would say your kids is in a place where it can be workable, where you can work on it. Because there are other things that are really horrible in relationships that people get through, but yours is in a place that you can really work through and get back to your family if that's something that you are open to.
Definitely.
Okay, so I just want to recap of what we went through today because our time is almost up, and we talked about you, your husband, and your family, and how you are trying to file for a divorce because your husband is not allowing you to go back to school. And we also talk about how you have grown kids. You have a 29-year-old, a 16, and a 9-year-old. And your 29-year-old is out of medical school, which is a very great accomplishment for him and for your family. And we also talk about how your husband works a lot. And because of that, it takes time away from the family and takes time away from you. You guys don't have intimate time together, couples time together, and because of that, you guys have been going apart from each other. And we talk about how he buy you stuff, expensive things for you and also for the kids. But for you say you'd rather have him there than the expensive things because you want him to be there in person, not just the gifts. And we also talk about resources that are available that can be of help to you and your family. We talk about couple counseling where you and your husband can come in and talk about all the differences that you have and things that you haven't been able to talk to him about, at home that you can talk about in the counseling. And we also talk about family counseling, which you will bring all the entire family in, your husband and your kids, and everybody can sit and express what they are feeling and how they are feeling about the separation that is going on right now and what the thoughts will be about if you guys got a divorce. And we talk about how y'all can work through things and see if you can get back together. And you talk about how you want your husband to be more involved, not just in your life but around the house, be able to do some choices around the house and to be able to to hang out with his boys more. So we really talk about a lot of things, and we talk about how strong you are and how wonderful you are as a wife and as a mother, because the product of your children is just wonderful, and you don't see that in every family. And we also talk about how your husband is a great husband and a great father because he worked all these many hours because he wants his kids to have the best, to go to the best of schools, and because he also wants you to have the best of whatever you want. But basically just having the best of everything does not, fill in for the presence of him being there. So we talk about a lot today, and I think we made progress in the direction that we are heading. So we will meet here next week, to discuss, and then you can go back and talk to him and see if he can take out some time. And I think he will be able to take out time because he don't want to lose you, and you are the one that's fighting for divorce. So if you tell him, I think we need to go to counseling, I'm pretty sure he's going to be open to it. So you can call me and tell me when I can set up an appointment for the two of you to have your section together. And if the family is willing to go into family counseling too, we can also set an appointment for that.
Okay.
So is there any other thing I can help you with? No? So we will meet next week, same time. Just call me and then we can set a date, a time, and then we will meet and then we'll move on from there and see how things work out. Okay?
Okay.
So I wish you the best and I hope everything works out great.
See you next week.
See you.